What's up, YouTube? So not only do I collect video games, I also collect movies. More specifically, I collect Blu-rays. More specifically, I collect 3D movies. Now, like 'em or hate 'em, 3D movies are very entertaining, especially for me. If a movie comes out in 3D in theaters, almost guaranteed I'm going to go see it, just because I think it adds a bit of depth to the movie that just isn't present in any other form of media. So, about 2 Christmases ago, my wife and I saved up enough money to buy ourselves a brand new TV. Before, I had a giant 60-inch old school rear projection TV that was a piece of crap. And we decided we wanted something much bigger, way better resolution, way better everything else. We settled on a 55-inch Samsung LED TV with 3D. It did not come with the 3D glasses, unfortunately. I had to buy those separately, but I found a really good deal on eBay and bought them there. And the next part of that journey involved actually buying 3D Blu-rays. Now, 3D Blu-rays are fairly hit and miss. Some of them are really good and some of them are really crap. So I've put together a little list of my little collection here, and I hope that it may help you guys if you enjoy 3D movies, or if you guys are thinking of getting a 3D TV, this might help ease your decision and at least give you some options to go and check out once you do get your 3D TV. Does anybody even watch 3D movies anymore? So first up, in alphabetical order, we have Disney's Pixar Brave. Now, this is a pretty good movie. The 3D in it's really cool. Animated movies tend to look much better in 3D, just because they transition much easier in post-op or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, pretty cool movie. The 3D is really good, and yeah, if you like the movie, the 3D option is really good. Second, out of all my 3D movies, this is the only one I haven't seen yet in 3D, and it's Gamer 3D. I found this for $10 at Walmart, and I just couldn't. A 3D movie for $10, you can't leave it sitting on a shelf, so I just bought it. The movie is much better the second time around. The first time I saw it, I wasn't impressed. Second time, a little bit more. Haven't got to a third viewing yet, but, you know, maybe soon. Third, this is probably one of my favorite movies from last year. It's a masterpiece, actually. A lot of people went and saw it, and they didn't see it in 3D, which I think was a huge mistake. The 3D adds a level of depth that is just so tangible, especially in this movie, that if you watch the 2D version, it just doesn't cut it, and it doesn't have the same emotional feeling that the 3D version does. And I know it's high praise for just a movie, but trust me, it makes a huge difference in this movie. The 3D is impeccable. The movie is great, again, in 3D, and that movie is Gravity. This movie had me on the edge of my seat in the theater. At certain points, especially when you're in space, there is just nothing. The theater must have put some kind of like negative decibels or something, negative sound into the theater just to suck sound out of it, and it really felt like you were in a vacuum. The 3D is amazing. When Sandra Bullock is flying through space and she's desperately trying to grab onto something so she doesn't float away into oblivion or into nothing, it really makes your heart just sink and your throat just drop into your stomach. And yeah, it's really good. And in theaters, it was really good. On TV, it's just as good. And if you have a good sound system, it's probably even better. So definitely one to check out. This is on my thumbs up list of you must own this movie if you have a 3D TV. Next is one of my favorite Marvel movies. I asked for this for Christmas, and thankfully my wife got it for me, and it is Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie's hilarious. Not my favorite Marvel movie, but it is up there. It's probably in my top 3. So definitely check it out. The 3D is really good. It has a really cool effect at times when the movie goes into a letterbox kind of viewing mode. If something spurts out, the things will actually come out and land on the black bar part. So it kind of adds that extra depth of field that you wouldn't see anywhere else. They've added that into the 3D version of the movie, and it's a really cool addition. So definitely check it out. Also on my thumbs up of movies to own on 3D. Now we're getting to some older stuff. This is stuff that was definitely put post 3D action, whatever you want to call it. The first is iRobot. This has more of your traditional 3D kind of feel to it. You know, when you used to wear those red and blue glasses at like a movie theater and things would have like a 2D pop to them. That's what this does. If you enjoy that kind of 3D, this looks really cool. Watching a whole feature-length movie like that, especially with a lot of action, looks really good. I'd definitely check it out. If you can find it for like $10, $15 or less, I would definitely recommend it, picking it up in 3D. Next is one of my, again, all-time favorite movies from being a kid, and that's Jurassic Park 3D. I picked this up on, I think it was eBay. Totally worth it. I bought it in preparation for the new Jurassic World that just came out. Very similar to the iRobot 3D, where basically they've taken the images and kind of popped them out to make them look 3D, so it's kind of like this 2D-esque 3D effect, if that even makes any sense. So, definitely really cool. You can still watch it in regular 3D if you don't want to, but the 3D is just that extra layer of goodness that I love. It's like gravy on potatoes. Next, this is a must-have. I haven't shown this in any of my pickup videos, but this is, again, one of the must-have movies of the year. I hope everyone goes out and buys this. If you have to download it to watch it first, that's great. But again, people, vote with your wallet, support with your wallet. If you love the movie, go out and buy it as well. It's just that good. And that movie is Mad Max Fury Road on 3D. This movie is absolutely stunning. The visual effects are amazing. The story is really good. Tom Hardy is one of my favorite actors. He has been for years now. And to see him in Mad Max was just icing on the cake. So the 3D effects are really good. If you can check it out in 3D, if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go watch it. If you can see it in 3D, even better. And if you have a 3D TV, this is a must-buy. Next is kind of a monster movie. I watched Godzilla with some friends, and I absolutely hated that movie. I could not stand it. The entire time of watching Godzilla, it just made me want to go and buy this movie. So I waited for a Boxing Day sale here in Canada, and I went and picked this up for $10. Totally worth it. Pacific Rim 3D. This is the movie I wanted out of Godzilla. I just want to see giant monsters and giant robots beating the living out of each other, and that's exactly what this is. If you want to have just straight fun, you don't want too much story, you just want action and glorious graphics, then this is a movie for you. Definitely a must-have in 3D as well, if you're going to own it. I can imagine the 2D version not being that great, you just don't get that depth. But this one is just so much better, especially some of the underwater scenes or in the water scenes. You've got water flying in your face, you've got fish flying by when they're underwater. It's pretty sweet. I would definitely check it out. This next movie is hit or miss. A lot of people disliked it. I'm in the party that does like it. I'm a huge Aliens fan. If you followed me on this channel or on my Game Hunters R Us channel, you know I've spoken about this many times, that I love Aliens. I love everything to do with Aliens. Maybe not Predator 2 or AVP, but you know, definitely everything in the Aliens kind of franchise I do really like. So that's what makes this movie hit or miss. It is Prometheus. I really like the movie. I think it did a pretty good job of kind of introducing you to the whole space jockey thing and who are they and why are they there. A lot of questions I had about the first Aliens movie. I was like, why? Who are these things? What do they do? Now, was a little blown out of the water? Sure. Was it a little bit far-fetched? Absolutely. But you know what? It's science fiction, and I love science fiction, and I think part of the fact that it doesn't make sense is what intrigues me. And if things always made sense to humanity, then it wouldn't be fiction or it wouldn't be science fiction. There's got to be a level of unbelievability to it in order to make it really interesting. So I think they did a good job. The 3D effect is really good, and I think that performances are solid. The 3D effect in this is really amazing, especially in like the map rooms when you've got, again, the whole 3D effect even within their own scene. It's pretty sweet. So definitely check it out. Now the last two on my list are, I want to say, really good, but again, a lot of people dislike them. I'm on the camp of I like them. If you haven't noticed, I've only bought 3D movies that I like. Just a tip to this video. This is Star Trek Into Darkness 3D. Now, I really like the movie. I think J.J. Abrams is one of the best directors of our generation that we'll see. I'm super stoked that he's directing the new Star Wars movie. I heard a rumor that he only directed the Star Trek movies because he never thought he'd ever get a chance of getting Star Wars. And if this is what he can do to a franchise that he cares somewhat about, I can only imagine what he's going to do to a franchise he loves. So I'm really looking forward to Star Wars. That being said, this is a great movie, I still think. This is probably the weakest movie to see in 3D. There's a lot of shaky cam, which I hate. I don't like shaky cam whatsoever. And it's used a lot in this video. The lens flaring, I could care less about. It's just really the shaky cam. And pretty much the entire movie is in letterbox format. So even though I have a giant screen TV, there's still like black bars on the top and the bottom, and it's a 3D effect on top of it. So I felt it just pulled me out of the experience a little bit, and I didn't quite appreciate it. So definitely a movie to check out. The 3D probably isn't necessary, but if you can find it cheap, sure, and you want a cheap thrill, absolutely go check it out. This is the movie that started it all. This is the movie I bought in 3D before I even had a 3D TV or ever even thought that I would own a 3D TV. I went and saw this movie in theaters and absolutely loved it. I'm a huge fan of the original, and so when this movie came out, I was there day one in the theaters watching it in 3D and absolutely loved it. So that movie is Tron Legacy. I bought this again day one when it came out. I ran over to Best Buy and picked it up, and I don't regret my decision. This is still probably one of the best representations of home 3D use ever. I think the graphics are really good. The story is, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the acting of all the characters, aside from maybe Michael Sheen. I think he was probably the weakest point of that movie. But aside from that one scene, or that one section with him in it, all the action bits are good, and I would definitely recommend, if you're going to get this movie, get it in 3D if you have a 3D TV or 3D capabilities. This is the way to go if you like the movie as much as I did. So that is my 3D movie collection. I hope you all enjoyed it. Have you seen any 3D movies, or do you have a 3D TV and you think that I would enjoy getting those or watching those? Please let me know down in the comments. I would love to check them out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.